Welcome to Lesson 1. In this first lesson, we're going to break down some basic terminology. We will also introduce the 4 different types of hacking. These 4 categories are the foundation of almost everything in cybersecurity. You are going to see how they connect to the world of hacking gadgets. The 4 categories are inspect, extract, manipulate, and deny. You will see examples of each. You will see the tools that represent each category, and I'll demonstrate how each of these behaviors look in action. Some gadgets are designed for inspection. Some gadgets focus on extraction, and some gadgets are built for manipulation, and others are built for denial. This lesson sets the foundation. Once you understand these 4 pillars, you will understand how the entire world of cybersecurity fits together with hacking gadgets. Before we get into the 4 types, we need to understand something important: the word hack and the word hacker. Most people misunderstand these words because of movies and media. The truth is rooted in the history. The original meaning of hack had nothing to do with crime. The word comes from the old meaning, which was to chop something roughly. Later, in the early computer days, especially in places like MIT, the word hack evolved. Hack meant making something work in a clever way. It meant building something creative from limited parts. It meant modifying equipment to do something useful that it was never designed to do. Hacker meant someone who understood systems deeply, someone who could make technology do more than the manual said it could, someone who experimented until something amazing worked. In other words, a hacker was an inventor, a problem solver, a creative thinker, not a criminal. Over time, the media twisted the meaning. So today, many people think hacker means bad guy. That is not true. The real meaning of hacking is the art of understanding and modifying systems. The real meaning of hacker is someone who explores how things work and learns how to improve them. This is why ethical hacking exists. This is why security research exists. This is why we use the term today without shame. A hacker is not the enemy. A hacker is the one who proves the enemy exists. Now that you understand the real root of these words, we can move into the core structure of gadget-assisted hacking using the fundamentals: inspect, extract, manipulate, and deny. The first category is inspect. Inspect means to observe, to watch, to measure, to gather awareness. We are not changing anything. We are not extracting secrets. We are simply learning how the system behaves. Inspection can be as simple as scanning for nearby Bluetooth devices. It can be mapping out what services a computer is running on the network. It can be seeing what signals are active in the environment. Inspection tells us what exists, what is talking, what is communicating, what is connected, and what the weak links might be. Inspection is passive awareness. This is the first step in every investigation. You cannot attack what you do not understand, and you cannot defend what you have not observed. Some examples of gadgets that can perform inspection are tools like the Wi-Fi Pineapple. The one shown here is the Mark 7. This model is able to inspect both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz networks. That matters because most similar devices on the market today are still limited to 2.4. Now, before we go deeper into inspection, there is an important side note about the differences between inspecting 2.4 GHz networks and 5. The best way to visualize it is this example. Humans can only hear certain sounds. If someone uses a dog whistle, you cannot hear it because humans are not equipped with the right sensors to detect that frequency. The same thing happens with inspection tools. A 2.4 only gadget cannot see 5 GHz traffic because it's not equipped with the right hardware to sense that frequency. So when newer tools can inspect 5 GHz, it gives a much clearer and more accurate picture of what is actually happening in the wireless environment. Without 5 GHz inspection, you are missing data that might be right in front of you. You just cannot see it. As time goes on, we will see newer tools with stronger inspection capabilities, like the upcoming Highboy and the Wi-Fi Pineapple pager. But as of right now, the 2.4 inspection is still the most common, even though it's slowly becoming outdated. Most multi-purpose hacking gadgets include some kind of inspection feature, either Wi-Fi inspection, Bluetooth inspection, or scanning for other wireless frequencies. We'll be using the BLE Shark Nano, the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and other Bruce firmware capable devices to demonstrate this later on in this course. Another term that fits perfectly into the inspection category is wardriving. We will go deeper into that later in this course, but in simple terms, it means mapping wireless signals as you move around an area. It is a great example of passive inspection, and it helps you understand your environment without interacting with anything. Personally, I use inspection tools to protect myself and to understand my surroundings. I am constantly monitoring the environment around me with these tools. I can see how many devices are nearby, how strong their signals are, and how far they are from my location. Anything that emits a signal, I can detect it. This becomes useful because if I start noticing patterns, I can respond. For example, if I travel from one location to another and I see the same unfamiliar device signal in both locations, that tells me something very important. It could mean I am being followed, or it could mean that a device has been planted inside something that I am carrying without my knowledge. Being able to detect these patterns makes the invisible visible. It gives awareness, it gives safety, it gives information that most people never see. Inspection lets you understand your environment on a level that the average person cannot. In the real world, that is a major advantage. And these gadgets make it simple. Before we move on to the next part, I need to leave a little disclaimer. Everything on my channel is for educational purposes only. I do not condone any illegal activity. With that said, let's move on to extraction. To extract means getting something out, pulling information, recovering data the system did not intend for you to get. It might be credentials, it might be keystrokes, it might be packet data, and it might be behavior patterns. Extraction moves from being passive to being active. You are interacting with something, but you are not changing it. You are simply just learning from it. Extraction is keylogging, packet sniffing, reading signals from public broadcasts, getting memory dumps from a device. In extraction, the target is still functioning. You just now have the knowledge it was never planning on sharing. In a different video in this course, we'll go over the keyloggers that we have in the studio. We have the Diabolic Parasite. We also have the Zero Trace keylogger. We also have a bunch of other devices that can pretend to be a mouse and keyboard, but can type at superhuman speeds to extract sensitive data. And these gadgets make it simple. Now we move into the third category, which is manipulate. Manipulate means taking something designed to do one job and redirecting it to do something different. You are not destroying it. You are not shutting it down. You are simply changing its purpose. A simple example of manipulation is when we use a USB device that pretends to be a keyboard. Computers follow strict protocols to recognize computers and mice and automatically trust them. When something is plugged into a computer and it identifies itself as a keyboard, the computer assumes it is safe and allows it to type without restriction. This normal behavior is what allows us to type our passwords, search on Google, and write documents. Instead of typing letters that a human wants, we can program a device to type instructions or execute commands automatically. The computer still thinks it's receiving normal keyboard input, but the behavior has changed. That is manipulation. You are staying within the rules of the system, but using them in a creative and unexpected way. Now on the advanced side, I have experimented with manipulating captive portals. Captive portals are normally used in public Wi-Fi areas like hotels, airports, malls, displaying login or agreement pages. Now, I found a way to repurpose these captive portals into a communication system. Now, it's very limited, but still I was able to repurpose something. I'll leave a link to that video in the description if you are curious. Manipulation is where hacking becomes creative. It is where innovation happens. It is about using what already exists in a new way. Almost all the gadgets here do this in some form or fashion. Manipulation is not breaking the rules. It is understanding the rules so deeply that you can bend them to your advantage. And these gadgets make it simple. Now let's move into the fourth and final category, which is deny. Deny means preventing something from working. You are stopping normal operation. You are interrupting communication. You are forcing the system to fail or shut down. Deny is the harshest category. This is where services collapse. This is where users lose access and systems fail. Denial can happen through crashing software. Denial can happen through overwhelming communication channels. Denial can happen through interference. Denial can happen through electrical destruction. Deny is not always malicious. Deny sometimes is used to test resilience, to see how strong something really is, to expose weakness that most people never notice. If a system fails too easily, it means the protection was never real in the first place. A very common denial method is kicking devices off Wi-Fi using deauthentication packets. These packets tell a device that it has been disconnected. So the device disconnects. I've tested this multiple times on my channel, and at one point I showed you guys that I was able to disable my Ring doorbells with it. What makes this so interesting is that it can happen without even having a Wi-Fi password, because the network believes the packets are valid. Many multi-tools are capable of this. It is a real-world way to test the stability and protection of a wireless network. We will break this down in more detail in a future lesson. Another example of denial is spoofing and flooding. Spoofing sends misleading signals that disrupts communication. Flooding sends so many packets that normal operations become impossible. For example, the BLE Shark Nano can spam Bluetooth advertisements. This crowds the Bluetooth channel and causes interference. This is not fully jamming, but it can prevent reliable communication. Other multi-tools can flood Wi-Fi packets and force devices or access points to malfunction temporarily. True jamming requires generating noise across the radio channel so nothing else can communicate. True jamming devices do exist, but they belong in a deeper, more regulated discussion. We will talk about those later in the course. But now let's talk about something that you probably already heard of before. You hear a lot about denial attacks in the news all the time. A major website suddenly crashes, becomes unreachable, or stops working. The news calls it a DDoS attack. It means many systems are sending so much traffic to a target that it cannot respond. The server is not hacked, it is just overwhelmed. Similar to you at a party and you're having multiple people talk to you at the same time. You can only focus in on one or two conversations, but everybody else you just tune out. So DDoS attack is denial taking place on a massive scale. Last example I'm going to give is the USB Kill V4. This device charges and releases high voltage directly into the system. I have demonstrated this multiple times on my channel, frying devices in a matter of seconds. If the computer dies instantly, it proved that the electrical protection was never real. And this device is undefeated on my channel. If you're curious to see this thing in action, go ahead and check out the videos in the description. So deny does not show you how to destroy. It reveals how easily things can be destroyed. It exposes the truth behind systems people blindly trust. It shows you how quick they can crumble under pressure. It shows you how thin their defenses really are. All the firewalls, all the encryption, all the corporate bragging about security. All of it looks strong on the outside until the moment you stress it and watch it fall apart like wet paper. When it comes to denial, the truth is simple. The safety people believe in is not real. It is a false sense of confidence. It is weakness hidden behind complexity. It is not protection. It is the illusion of protection. And once you understand that, you understand why safety is nothing more than an illusion. Denial shows how fast systems collapse and exposes the illusion of safety. And the gadgets let you see that in action. And these gadgets make it simple. Before we wrap up this lesson, I want to leave you with something I wish someone told me when I first started. Do not get discouraged. There will be moments that try to shake you. There will be negativity. There will be people who judge you before they understand you. In this space, you might hear names like Script Kiddie, Skid, Wannabe. Ignore it all. Everybody starts somewhere. Nobody magically wakes up knowing everything. Every expert was once a beginner. The important thing is that you keep learning. Keep moving forward. Stay respectful, stay humble, and stay curious. You are trying to do something productive. You are seeking knowledge. You are building a skill, and that's something to be proud of. And do not let anybody take that away from you. There are far more good people than bad ones in this community. It just feels different because the negative ones are often the loudest. But real knowledge, real mentorship, and support is here if you look for it. Find communities that will uplift you. Find people who want to see you succeed. That support will help you more than you realize. You are not alone in this learning journey. And you just being here, you are already ahead of where you were yesterday. And that is the end of lesson 1, the fundamentals. Now, these fundamentals don't just apply to the hacking gadgets. They apply to cybersecurity in general. These fundamentals are universal, and now that you know that they exist, you will now going to be able to see them everywhere. Now, my plan is for the next class to start setting up some gadgets so we can start learning about them and start breaking down the fundamentals and applying them. If you found any value in this course and you want to support the channel, consider being a channel member. It helps me continue making these free educational classes for everyone and for future generations. Thank you for being here. Thank you for learning. And thank you for being part of this journey. And remember that safety is an illusion.